This will most likely be a shit show because I've only beaten this game once actually, and I think this game will probably end up taking a longer time than Yooka-Laylee. But this is in fact the sequel, not sequel to the game Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, and I say not sequel because it is a gameplay style change compared to the first game. The first game is like much more of a collectathon, like a rare collectathon. This game is a lot more like a side-scrolling platformer, so you can think of this game as more like DKC, especially the newer ones like Tropical Freeze and Returns, while the first game is a lot more like Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie and DKC 4 and stuff like that. But yeah, right now what you're currently looking at is my 100% file for the game, and you're wondering why it's a 100% file when I'm clearly missing one of those tonic things. I'll explain that later. But yeah, that's the intro of the game, by the way. That is all the lore you need to know. There's Queen Phoebe. Shit's happening to her, so let's go ahead and get into the game. There's a lot to explain in this game in the beginning, because, I don't know, all the stuff you really need to know in the beginning of the game is now, like the controls and what you can do. Since this is a platformer, well, the style of this platformer is that we actually don't get additional moves throughout the game, unlike in Yooka-Laylee. So all the moves that I'll be showing off is all that we have as far as the kit is concerned. It's a decent chunk of moves that we all use in various different ways. Also, capital B is fucking bedazzled in this game. What the hell is going on? Unfortunately, Dr. Quack isn't in this game, which is kind of upsetting. But, oh well. His better half is not in the game, man. Let's be real. So here's Queen Phoebe. She is worried about this mind control device that capital B has. Called the Hive Mind, which is very appropriately named, mind you. Apparently he's got lightning staff powers. So this is the tutorial of the game, intro level. You can't really skip it, which kind of sucks, because, you know, I like skippable tutorials, but oh well. So we can move and jump, as you can imagine. But we can also do this roll maneuver, which will come up a lot. So I'm going to try to talk as much about the controls as I can right now, but it'll probably get cut off a lot, unfortunately, because stuff's going to be happening. You can roll like this, and when you can roll off ledges. This is very much like DKC games. And when you roll off a ledge, you can actually jump out of the roll like that, so I kind of like air jump. But unlike in DKC games, when you're falling while rolling like this, you actually can't jump during the part where you're falling. You can also double roll in this game, as you can see. So I roll, and then I press it again, mid-roll, and I like get a little sprint. You can hear Laylee make a noise while I do it. And that gives you more distance as well as increasing the speed for it. And this game does keep momentum, as you can see. So it's pretty useful for getting around. And you can also roll to open doors like that, and break blocks and lower your hitbox so you can slide like that. You can also just duck. Though you can't move while ducking, but you can move around by rolling while ducking. Also, here's Boris, his favorite employee, and we killed him. So that's nice. You bashed Boris! A lot of shit's going on right now, but don't worry, we're just gonna roll through all of it. Haha! He's trying really hard to body us, but he cannot body us. But he can, however, invoke the power of cutscenage. And, well, Queen Phoebe is going to talk to us some more. So she has this thing called the Battalion Army, Battalion Shield kind of thing. There are these things swirling around her. They're bees. A lot of bee-related things. Where a bee is distraught because another bee is wreaking havoc. I don't know what's up with that. It be like that sometimes, apparently. But anyways, the bee army is very good at one thing, it turns out, and that one thing is being a shield. Do you really need capital B defeated? Do you like monarchies? So here's the bee shield. It's gonna protect us. Yes. I'm gonna talk about something during this. All you need to know while we have the shield on is that we're invincible. So we're just gonna run through all of this. But I actually really want to talk about how the health system works, because I know it's kind of a random time to talk about it, but it's gonna be relevant really soon. In this game, you have basically 2 hits of HP. The hits of the HP being the characters themselves, Yooka and Laylee. Whenever you get hit in the game, you actually lose Laylee. She'll fly around for a bit, and if you can catch her again while she's flying around, you'll regain her, and it'll be fine. You'll have your 2 HP back. But after a while, of you not catching her, she'll fly away, and you won't be able to get her, and at that point you're stuck with just Yooka. And when you're stuck with just Yooka, your move pool goes down by quite a bit. And if you get hit again as Yooka, then you would die. You also die if you fall into like a pit, as you can imagine. By the way, those bees just got sucked by capital B. So now we don't have the OP shield anymore. He has the OP shield, I guess? Question mark? He doesn't use it. What a fucking idiot. Maybe the bees don't want to be with him. Have you ever thought of that? Huh? You ever think of the bees' feelings? Anyways, why the hell am I talking about HP now? It's because we're about to get into a boss fight. So it's kind of relevant to talk about immediately. Because it's a little bit of a not traditional system. But, I mean, it's like I said, this game is pretty similar to the newer DKC games in that regard. So, yeah. Also, here's a boss fight with capital B. That didn't even hurt. You fucking lied to me, bitch. That's like a 4 for your HP right there. Just need to dodge his balls, and then when he does this is not a drive, you just jump on him. It's not that hard. But if you're wondering where we currently are in the plot right now, we're actually in the final level of the game. This is it. This is the game right here. We're gonna beat the game right now. Yeah, let's fucking do it. Woo! And theoretically, you could do it, honestly. But as it turns out, the final level of this game is quite hard. It starts out with this boss fight, and you'll refight him a couple of times throughout this level. But in between the sections where you fight him, you gotta deal with a platforming level. And this is, I don't know if you know the game is called this, but it's called the Impossible Lair. And the final level is the Impossible Lair. And while it's not impossible, it is quite difficult, as you'll notice from the drastic jump in difficulty that we'll be dealing with in a second. I like it when it goes the other way better. So there's that. So you might be wondering, why is all this shit like ape shit insane to do? It's because it's the final level. It's just programmed that way. So yeah, enjoy this for a second, because we're not gonna be beating it. I'll say that much. It's too hard. That looks like a good time. So I actually really like this game's controls. I'll talk about it more as we get into it later, but if there's one thing I'll say right now that sucks about the controls, it's these vines. These vines are absolute jank. Also, spiders are rude enemies. So I'm not going to talk too much about what's going on here, because it'll, well, it's not going to be relevant in a second as we epically fail out of it. But I'll do my best not to fail out of it, because it'll be cool, I guess. This is all spoilers! Oh my god, I can't believe it. That part always gets me nervous. Like, holy hell. So we just need to drop down here and grab this vine. So at this point, it's just like how far can I get without dying? Because you're supposed to die in this section and it'll advance the game. So that's me getting hit. So like, Laylee's gonna fly around. I should mention she flies around randomly. So you would think she want to be saved, but yeah. And additional to that, a mechanic in the game is that once you get hit with her and you catch her, the next time you get hit, it sort of like only increases the timer back a little bit. So you actually have to catch her even faster than before if you get hit with her. So there's that as a mechanic. Alright, you need to hit these missiles need to kill a dude. I'm gonna try to kill a dude up here. Do I need to spawn the missile? What's going on? Sure, whatever, fuck it. Because I want to avoid the spider mostly, because the spiders are rude. Also, the missiles are rude. Okay, get back here, Laylee. You actually don't have that much invisibility frames in this game, I'll say that much. So stuff like that makes me quite nervous. Oh shit. That covers the whole platform. Yay! I should mention the blue cannons that we're firing out of, you can choose when to fire out of them, but the red cannons will auto-fire you. So there's that. These Mega Man platforms right here. These are in a couple Mega Man games. They're not quite the disappearing blocks things that you see in Mega Man games. But they're definitely in those games. Okay, so I have to time the blue ones. Nice, that was pretty good. These ones rotate, because why not, I guess. I don't know that we'll deal with 2 different cycles here. That's bullshit. I should have went. Okay, well. And then over here, we need to bounce on these guys. I said I wasn't going to talk too much about this level, but apparently we're getting pretty far in it? Question mark. Oh my god, that was close. Oh, that sucks. Well, that's bad. We're probably gonna lose Laylee. Yep. Alright, say goodbye to the end of the road, guys. Hope you enjoyed the final level while it lasted. I think I see you just bounce on an enemy. Nope, never mind, I did it too early. So, as you can imagine from the level, you're supposed to die in it. It's pretty hard and quite lengthy, actually. It's very much like over 10 minutes long, as far as I'm concerned. But after you die in the level, Queen Phoebe, she'll save you. You get launched out of the book that you were in, because you might have noticed we came out of a book in the intro cutscene. So she wants you to go in there and beat some ass again, but as it turns out, beating ass is pretty fucking hard, because that level, the Impossible Lair, is impossible, according to Yuka. But if you remember, we had this OPS shield, and maybe the OPS shield can help us in the Impossible Lair. So, the basic plot of this game is that we're going to go into various different levels and areas and things like that, and we're going to rescue some of the battalion members that were captured by Capital B, and we're going to use those guys, well, we're going to save them, and when we save them, we can use them in the Impossible Lair, and that'll help us, because you remember the bees work as a shield, so we're going to collect a bunch of different bees, and every time we collect a bee, it'll give us 1 HP in the Impossible Lair. So yeah, that's the basic idea of the game. There are 48 bees total in the game, and you get them, a number of them from levels, but you also get a number of them from the overworld. We'll get into the overworld a bit later, I think, but it's another huge section of the game that's not a platforming section. This game is part, like, exploration, like, overworld thing, and part that's platforming. The overworld sections really are their own things, but they're probably some of my favorite parts, actually, because I kind of like that style of game a lot. But anyways, here's the first level of the game. The first actual level, not the, you know, the OP Impossible Lair level. So here, you're going to platform and shit like that, and it's going to be sick. These little things, these are called checkmates, and they're actually function like, well, checkpoints, as it turns out. So there's that. But yeah, since we're like in the very beginning of the game, there's a lot of mechanics to talk about, which kind of makes it for messy talking, unfortunately, which is really awkward for me because later on in the game it's just gonna be me yelling a bunch because we already know all the mechanics and I'm just yelling at me how bad I am at the game, frankly. This game has a lot of similar features of the first game as far as things. You can see we're collecting quills in the game actually. Quills in this game function, they don't function as collectibles. I don't need to collect every single quill, you know, to get 100% or whatever. But they do function still as a money, it turns out. So I want to be collecting as much quills as I can because I use them to buy stuff. If I don't buy everything in the game, it's okay, I guess. It's not like, I mean, it is required for 100%, but if I have the grind for quills, I might do it off camera. I haven't decided yet. But I do want to be collecting as much quills as I can because buying stuff is pretty nice, it turns out. So another thing as far as collectibles are concerned are these things called twit coins. If you remember Trouser from the first game, he's the snake, the scamming snake with the pants. He is in this game as our mini characters from the first game, except for Dr. Quack. Rest in peace, dude. I can't believe. And he has company. I don't remember what it's called, but the acronym for it is called TWIT. Yes, you make of that exactly as it sounds, by the way. That's the point. But the acronym is TWIT, and he mentions in the first game, I think, that he has a currency named after his company, or him or his company. I don't quite remember. But they're here in this game, and there are 5 in a level, and they count towards 100%. This is going to be a 100% playthrough. So I'm going to collect all the coins, and I'll collect all the tonics. Whether or not I do something else with them is a different story. Is there anything else? And I'll beat all the levels, and I'll get all the bees and stuff like that. Even though all of this is optional, because like I said, you can beat the final level whenever you want to. Because it's right there to access. So I said it's a 100% playthrough, and I said that my file on the file select screen is also 100%. But the reason why I'm missing a tonic in my 100% file, it's 65 out of 66, and I still call it 100%, is because that tonic is not required in the game's definition for 100%. As far as the achievement is concerned, it'll count as you saying you collected all the tonics, even though you're missing that one. And the reason why that one doesn't count is because it is very, very hard to get. Very excruciatingly hard to get, actually. Not only is it excruciatingly hard to get, it is also missable. So they took it nice on us, I guess. But it's kind of sucky that it actually says 65 out of 66. I kind of just would have said 65 out of 65, and if you have it, it would say 66 out of 65 or something like that. But I digress. Also, the swimming in the game, by the way. So in order to get that tonic in the game, I'll explain much more this kind of mechanic stuff when we get more free time for it. But the reason why that one is missable and is very hard to get is because it is a reward for beating the game on the first try. So the final level that I was just in, the Impossible Lair, if you beat that on the very first try without dying, as your very first attempt, the game will give you an extra tonic as a reward for it. I actually don't know what the tonic does, to be honest. But yeah, that's why it's missable. It's because I can no longer get it just at this point in the game already, because I already missed my chance to because I died during my first attempt. And you can imagine beating the game on your first attempt without having any of the extra HP Bs is quite challenging. So yeah, of course there are people that have done it, because there are very much god gamers, people that are better at video games than me. But as far as my ability to do it, it is never happening. I would probably attempt it at least, but I actually don't even want to attempt it, it turns out, because like I said, the intro level isn't skippable. So doing that every single time isn't like my best plan. Otherwise, I probably would have at least attempted it a few times. And that would be really cool too, because it means I would get better at the final level. So it would look cleaner and all that. But all that talking aside, we're actually coming up to the very end of the first level, which is over here. You can see the B member is trapped in this glass, being stared at creepily by this statue of capital B, I might say. He's like, yes, yes, my children. Anyways, just crack it open with any attack you want. And you rescue a battalion member, and we'll get to the results screen. Buzzerland. All the battalion members have different designs and names, actually. And it shows you your quills, and it shows you all the coins that you've gathered for the level. And we gathered all the coins for that level, which is great. So, I'm gonna say this again once more. I know I'm being repetitive, but this is the structure of the game. You go around and you go inside the different books, which are levels, and you rescue battalion members. And I guess theoretically, whenever you feel like you have enough battalion members, aka enough HP, you can go inside the Impossible Lair again, and you know, hopefully body that idiot. And once you body that idiot, that's the game. The credits will roll and all that good stuff, and you'll feel good inside and all that. So yeah, but as it stands, I'm not gonna attempt the final level anyways till the end because I want to do 100%. So you know, if you're really curious about like your attempts of doing the Impossible Lair, the game actually does keep track of how many attempts you do. So there's that. You can see we can go over here 1, and it already says 1 attempt, so you know, that's not happening. 20% complete my first attempt though. It's not bad, honestly. But here's the overworld section of the game. The overworld section has different controls than the rest of the game. As far as different style, obviously, because we're moving in every single direction. And like I said, different controls because we can push this crate around, which is something that I don't think happens on normal levels. You can roll around and collect quills and things like that. But you don't actually have real HP in the overworld. If you can still get hit in the overworld because they're still enemies. They're not really like dangerous enemies. I think there's only one kind of enemy actually. I'm not 100% confident. But if you were to get hit in the overworld, actually, you just lose quills instead. It's not that much quills, but it is annoying. But you might recognize a lot of the same characters are in this game compared to the previous game. Here are the signposts, for example. They're not as dickish as they are in the first game because they actually give you hints, though all of them cost money. And they tell you hints on where tonics are because you actually find tonics in the overworld in this game as opposed to getting them from Bendy. Bendy's still in the game though. This bird, I think is like Blasto's bird, you know, the cannon guy. But he goes around and tells you tutorial stuff. You can read it leisurely at your own will. But yeah. Here's chapter 2, which is level 2. The overworld section of the game is mostly... Hi. You're ruining my exposition, by the way. So here's Trouser, ruining my exposition as usual. Your stupid gate is blocking our progress. It's a paywall! Get it? So, you need to pay him money to remove the paywall. And in order to pay money, you give him Twit coins, which is his own currency to begin with. So, this first one only costs 1 Twit coin. So, as much as the Twit coins are collectible, you actually need them to get rid of paywalls too. Every time I say the word paywall, it sounds ridiculous. So of course, exploring more of the map lets you access more levels, things like that. But the overworld is a big, like more of like a adventure-y explore. This is definitely a lot more of the collectathon kind of style of the gameplay. So it's kind of cool that there's like an element of it still in the game if you think about it. You're also running my exposition, by the way, Vandy, I must say. So there are tonics in this game. The strangest thing about tonics in the game is that you actually find all of them in the overworld. However, when you find them in the overworld, you still have to buy them for some reason. So you buy them with, what is it, quills, and then you can equip them afterwards. So that's great. So you can see there's a tonic right there that we need to collect. And equipping various tonics gives you various bonuses in your levels. And you can equip up to 3, as you can see. Can't I remove it? I thought you could remove it. There we go. There's a remove button. So this one, you can see, it makes Laylee less random, and she sticks around longer when you get hit. But a lot of there are basically 3 types of tonics in the game. There are helping tonics, like this one. which make you stronger. There are tonics that make you weaker, add like more challenge elements to the game, like maybe make it so that there are less checkpoints. And there are just cosmetic tonics. So I first of all have DLC tonics in the game, just as a heads up. I think they're pre-order tonics or some shit. But all the ones that make the game easier give you a quill multiplier downgrade. So you'll actually get less quills from levels by having ones that help you in the game. Sort of as like, you know, you make the game easier, but you get less quills. And all the ones that make the game harder give you more quills. And all the ones that are cosmetics don't do anything to your quill multiplier. So that's like the trade-off for having those things. So in general, I don't tend to have on things that make the game easier because I want as many quills as I can. Because you use quills for a lot of things. You buy tonics with them, but you also buy hints from the signposts with them, actually. So here's a signpost right here to show it up, actually. So do you want to buy my hint? Sure, we'll buy his hint. I don't think you actually need to buy the hint to figure out his tonic, but yeah. So he tells you hints about where tonics are, and if you do the thing for him, then maybe we'll get a tonic. So he says a fern nearby has a tonic. I think it's this one, actually. Maybe not. All the tonic locations he tells you are usually nearby. Maybe this is one with all the flowers. So we'll buddy slam here. You can buddy slam on the overworld for some reason. Here's a tonic. Huge head. I think that's a cosmetic one. But you know you have the tonic that he's asking for because you'll start shaking up and down like this. You solved this clue. Great job. I don't think you need to buy the clue, like I said, but I'm probably going to buy them just so I know what he's talking about. A lot of the tonics that are hidden usually are hidden so well that you need a clue for it, because like who's going to ground pound that random spot, right? So that's the idea behind it. So the overall section is a lot of exploration, which is a pretty cool art. Honestly, I would play a whole game just based around this part of the game, honestly. It's a lot of fun. So I tend to spend way more time in the overworld than you would think, because there's just a lot of cool... It's just my kind of thing. I just like going around and exploring in video games and finding all the secrets and things like that. So, yeah. But let's go ahead and get back into Chapter 2. Here's the level. Here's the game telling me to equip tonics, which I'm not going to do because I don't really have any that aren't cosmetic and or make the game easier. So let's talk a little bit about the game's mechanics now that we've calmed down a little bit. So in the process of collecting quills, they're actually me sucking ass for one and dying. That's good. So, there are no ghost riders in this game per se, like in the first game, where you collect them to get a Pagey. But instead, I don't know what these are called actually. I just call them ghost quills. I'm sure I'll remember their name, aka figure out their name whenever they decide to show up in the tips thing on the loading screen. But all of these ghost quill things actually have similar personalities, aka the same personalities as ghost riders in the first game. So that one's like the yellow one, the hey-ho ones. And they do generally do similar-ish things to how they are in the first game. Not really though, some of them kind of. So the yellow one creates a line of quills, and if you collect all of them as he's moving away from you, he'll explode into most of the time quills, but sometimes these ghost quill things can actually explode or turn into a twit coin. The blue one that I just grabbed earlier makes a bunch of quills appear, and you need to collect them all in a certain time limit. These are all the yellow one's also timed, by the way. And this red quill, ghost quill, if you jump on him, you'll suck ass for one. Let me die just to show it off. I would like to demonstrate things. You can see you jump on him to make him appear to the next spot. You can actually see what the next spot is because it's an outline right there. And if you do that all the time that the game wants you to, then he'll explode into a bunch of quills. Or a twit coin. I don't know if the red ones can actually become twit coins now I think about it. So there's that. I'll talk more about the other ones as we see them. I'll get prompted to. But while I'm on this topic of quills, here's another blue one by the way. There's not like one of each kind in every level. They're just placed in the level randomly. Willy-nilly and all that. But while I'm on the topic of quills, when I died earlier, you might have noticed that I actually exploded into a bunch of quills, and you're like, oh, you lose quills for dying, and things like that. This game doesn't have lives or anything like that, which also is something I appreciate, frankly, because it actually lets you be more open with level design. It's one of the things I like about not having lives in games. The quills that I lose when I die, those aren't like me losing quills. It just loads your last checkpoint, which in the last checkpoint I have, I didn't have those quills. So when quills are popping out of me, they're just losing the quills that I haven't gotten yet before I hit another checkpoint. But in this game, you can actually hit checkpoints more than once, which is pretty useful for saving quills you might collect, as well as saving twit coins you might collect, because you also lose twit coins when you die. So you collecting the save twit point usually happens a lot in the beginning of a level, because you'll like go backwards in the beginning of the level and you'll grab something and then you'll pass the checkpoint again. But sometimes I do go out of my way to re-grab a checkpoint so I can save twit coins, because sometimes some twit coins are pretty hard to grab. So yeah, it's a really useful mechanic, honestly. Also, I know the checkpoints are called checkmates. That is the official lore, but I'm just gonna call them checkpoints, okay? It's easier for my brain, and it's the same thing. You get the idea. I guess since there aren't any other ghost quills around me now, I'll talk some more about the controls of the game. I've already discussed rolling, which is a huge part of the game, but there's also buddy slamming, as I've used a couple times, where you slam down with both Yooka and Laylee, which is a move that's from the first game, actually. There's also the ability to grab stuff with your tongue, like this. Most of the time, you'll grab like these water berries and bombs, which are useful for helping you break blocks and walls and things like that. But you can also grab, some points in the game you also need to grab a key like this to open up doors. And so you grab things with your tongue, which is a shoulder button like this. It actually is, it actually goes a length in this game, unlike in the first game where it's all auto-targeted. But yeah, there's that move. You can also normal attack like this, which is not useful because you normally attack stuff with rolling. But hey, it's there. It's just a stationary attack option that doesn't move you. And there's also this air spin that I've been using a lot, which is when you press attack in midair. This is not actually an attack, even though it looks like an attack. It looks like you can just twirl into stuff. This is purely just a move to slow your fall in midair. So you're like, if I like do this and I get hit while doing it, you're like, why didn't it hit the enemy? It's not an attack. It doesn't have a hitbox at all. I'm probably forgetting some other controls, but I'll mention right now. A lot of I've talked before about how you lose certain moves when you don't have Laylee. Also, we're about to get chased by a buzzsaw. Don't worry about that part. It's so tempting to go left to get those quills, but you shouldn't. So the green ghost quills create a huge line of stuff, and then if you touch him at the end, he'll explode into the quills. You actually don't need to grab all the quills in order to touch him. It's just if you touch him at the end, then you'll get the quill explosion. Or he can sometimes give you a twit coin, I think. But I've talked before about how when you lose Laylee, you lose some moves. So I think you lose 3 moves. I might be forgetting some. But this ground pound, the buddy slam, you can actually only do when you have Laylee on you. As far as the double roll is concerned, this roll into another roll, you can also only do that when you have Laylee on you. And this spin maneuver, you can also do it when Laylee has you, which is probably the biggest downside. The double rolling and the air spin is probably the biggest things you're missing when you don't have Laylee on you. The buddy slam isn't really used that often. It's mostly just used strictly for like getting to certain areas, but you don't really use it that much. It's a tool for platforming. So there's that. We can try going in this door. It rejected us. How unfortunate. So yeah, those are the main reasons why you would want to have Laylee on you. Because you lose mobility options, and losing mobility options in a game like this is no bueno. It makes the game a lot harder. Okay. So we have how many coins? That was our 4th coin. Nice. Like I said, I've only played this game once, so I don't remember it that well. If I'm being perfectly honest, this is actually not my first attempt at recording this game, it turns out. Because mostly I just wasn't happy. Mostly I just wasn't happy with my first recording, so I kind of stopped it and rebooted it up again. It turns out I have standard sometimes? Question mark? I don't know. So the final ghost quill is the burpee guy, if you remember him. Burpee guy. He just shits out a bunch of quills from his mouth, not from his ass. Even though I said shitting out. Bad choice of words. And after a while of him doing this, he'll eventually just explode into a bunch of quills. He can never give a twit coin as a result, I think. It kind of sucks when these guys give twit coins, because most of the time they just give quills, but when they give the coins, you're just like, oh crap. Why am I missing a coin? It's because I sometimes fail these, and then it was a coin after all, haha, amazing. But, yeah. You want to be collecting these quills, because, you know, they're a really good source of the quill income that you'll be wanting in the game. So, after I finished explaining all of the Ghost Quill thingamabobs. Those bells that I keep passing on, they're Laylee bells, I think. They're how you will recover Laylee if you fail catching her again. If you fail catching her again, you can touch one of those bells and it'll bring Laylee back to you. I don't want to do that. Yeah, because I want this coin, you know. That would be good. There are actually a lot of coins like that that are past the end of the level. So, yeah. I know I keep touching the bells and nothing happens, but when you touch the belt and recover Laylee, it'll make the bell disappear. So, it is a one-time use. But honestly, since dying in this game is not super punishing, you can also just die sometimes if you want to bring Laylee back, frankly. Because the bells are actually put in some of the strangest locations. It's some of the weirder parts of the level design of the game, I think. They're not, it's not the balance, so to speak. So, let's go ahead and explore some overworld. Some overworld action. We're gonna push this crate over here. And if you remember, using Yooka's tongue to absorb berries in this game, you can still do that. So we're gonna absorb this bomb berry thingamabob. Though you don't like... Oops, that's not something you blow up, idiot. You don't like keep them in this game. You don't like absorb it and like have infinite supply for a duration. You just use it for a little bit. Oh wait. I wanna... Well, let me do everything with this bomb berry first. Also, they are in fact berries. So we're gonna use this bomb berry and blow up various things in the game. I think you can make this. I think you can make it. I'm not sure if the game intends you to make it, but I think you can make it. I don't quite remember. I think there's maybe another bomb berry around here, but I'm also maybe thinking of a different area. Hey there, kids. Let's try that again. Try to do my best rolling effort. Nice. I decided to toss it a bit earlier to compensate. Here's a quill. Or not a quill, a tonic, excuse me. Spider Jam. As well as the switch you can hit, which leads... switch you can hit, I say, which leads you to a bunch of different locations. Shortcutting to the map, haha. If you want to shortcut to the map even more, you can open up the map with just start, and you can actually warp to any level. So there's that. However, warping to levels actually is a little buggy, it turns out, because sometimes the level won't work for you if you warp to it. I don't know. I'm sure it'll happen in the playthrough, and you can question it then. But it's kind of hard to explain. The game doesn't register that you're on a level when you warp to it sometimes. It's jank, if we're being honest. Can I get to this hole? Yeah, you can still roll and jump off ledges even in the overworld. So that's cool. There we go. What's in here? Very much like you're playing a different game when you're on overworld. Look at this. Ooh, quills. I like that. So we need to explore to collect tonics and get levels and things like that. Shipwreck Creek. Wow. Here's the, you know, where Yooka-Laylee live. It looks a little different in this game. Things reimagined. However, the towels that they are on are still there for some reason. There's Blasto, I think. One of the cannon guys. Let's go exploring, but don't get too comfortable. What does that even mean? Push the block, Yooka. Thank you. I'm sure I'll go over what all these tonics do after a while, but I'll try to say which ones I remember what they do when I see them. Yeah, no. That one makes you climb stuff faster. I don't want that. Huge head and noir film are just cosmetic effects. I'm probably not going to use any of the cosmetic effects because, well, it's going to make the game interesting to watch. Let's go with that, as far as lack of a better term. But you can actually go inside the ship this time and check this out. Oh my god, it's the one book. That's not how you talk to people. It was Yooka-Laylee. What do you think of my new hideout? So this is the book that's in the first game that we saved. What? I don't know why he talks to us in this game, but yeah. I'm whole again and living in perpetual fear. Oh! Like a wimpy kid's book. Wow. But yeah, he's just, honestly, for such a big plot point in the first game, he kind of is just here. Anyways, there's a tonic right here. Just slam into this wall and you'll get it. That's checkmates. That one makes, I think, only one checkmate appear in the whole level. Checkpoint. Since it's a 1, that makes the game harder. Yeah, removes all but 1 checkpoint. The quill bonus is 1 actually, which means it actually doubles the amount of quills you'd be getting for a level, which is pretty crazy. If you're wondering how the quill multiplier works, it calculates it at the very end of the level during the results screen. So you'll have all the quills, then let's say you have a 0.9 multiplier, then it'll just subtract it by 10% at the very end. So that's how that works for the multiplier. Hey, talk to me. I would like to not pay for these guys, but, you know, I don't know where all the stuff is. I buried the treasure behind me. Haha, you made me waste money, jackass. It do be like that sometimes. TV ratio. Yeah, a lot of the tonics are cosmetics. Which makes the game, like I said, interesting to play, for lack of a better term. Looks like you can kind of go down through this, isn't it? I guess not. Sure, I'll buy your damn hint. Do you remember where the first game began? Don't throw in the towel, you'll find the secret eventually. So he's telling you to ground pound. Most of the ones where they tell you to do stuff, you ground pound the spot, because that's how they hide it. That way you don't find it accidentally. You pretty much have to be looking for it deliberately if you're just ground pounding everything, you know? So there's that. So here's a little bridge wall thingamabobber, and that's actually where the intro is. What's up? Kaboomy. Yeah, that's Blasto. Kaboomy, I guess, is the bigger one. Us buddy duos need to look up for each other. After their own solo game, imagine that. Big enough nose. Yeah, Laylee's nose is very much a conversation topic of a lot of people's desires. Remember the last game we beat Capital B and took all the credit? God damn, dude. Put him on blast. She at least told everyone at the celebration. Damn, dude. Yo, there was cake there? That's my boy. So, you need to tell him to turn around. Because, it's useful for us. And, if you remember, ground pounding them does cool stuff. So, let's ground pound them. That explosion was so powerful, by the way. Fucking blasted the shit out of that thing. Oh, we can actually get up here now. That's cool. Exploring is hard, guys. What's in this room? Yeah, portions of this will feel very blind. Enjoy. I know you'll enjoy it. It'll be a lot of fun. Ah, grab. That is not the button to grab things. That was a very bad jump. Oh well. So swimming controls. Swimming controls actually work like this in the platforming section too. You move around and then you can press the attack button to do like this dash forward. But in of course the platforming sections you can move in any direction. What the heck is what the? Oh, okay. What the heck? Oh, is that how you're supposed to get here normally? Is that what they intended the way they want you to do it? Because I just jumped to it. Using, you know, sick roll powers. I think they intend you to actually take this path though to get over there. That's silly. Alright then. I mean, I knew this jump looked a little funky, but alright. Did I get anything in this room, by the way? Did I get anything in this room? Did I get a tonic? I honestly was not paying attention. I guess I did. GB resolution. Yeah, I'm good. 144? Like 144p? God damn. Yeah, so talking to Benny doesn't do anything. She doesn't sell tonics in this game. It's kind of interesting in that regard. I believe I blasted this earlier, so we'll go ahead and go in here now. So here are the minions. Corplets? That's what they're called, right? And if you touch them, they would do damage to you, and you would lose quills. But you can also just, you know, destroy them. The berries grow back fast enough. What's this? Wow, it's a tonic. Can you believe it? Can you? I guess we cannot climb that. Your jump on the overworld is very, very shallow. It's not very, which is a little interesting to think about, because it does have some legitimate platforming sections in it, kind of. I mean, I just did something like that earlier. So I think we're going to do one more level before I call this video quits. I have no idea how long this. Oh. So pages are in this game, by the way. And it's the chameleon and the bat. So what you do for pages in this game is that they have like an enemy challenge. So you'll get put on a one-screen area where you need to kill all the enemies. So first of all, I need to find where I am. There I am. This song is pretty good, first of all, but it's about to end in epic dynamic music fashion. Dun, 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 dun. Yay, challenge win. So so pretty much the pages are actually really important because they modify the world map whenever you clear the challenge. So the flyer squad, is that what we're calling it? PG power! The record scratch at the very end always gets me, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, pretty much all of the Twit coin banker. I think that makes it so that when you die, you wouldn't lose Twit coins even if you didn't collect the checkpoint yet. Let me check really fast. Did I pass it? Yeah, so you don't lose Twit coins when you die anymore. Yum! Here's Dr. Puzz. We're not gonna talk to her. Well, her machine don't work. That's her lore. Anyways, let's go to Wild Redwoods. That's all you know about Dr. Puzz. Her machine don't work. She needs to turn it on, and the switch is not near her. So, yeah. Actually, the switch is near her, just above her. But we'll hit it, and that'll be the lore. Let's do Wild Redwoods, okay? How does that sound? Can you get up here? Maybe. Leave, sir. So, in order to bounce off enemies in this game, it works like, guess what? It works like the newer Donkey Kong Country games. Also, you don't collect Twit coins immediately when they pop out of boxes and stuff like that. You have to stand there for a little bit. So if I miss a Twit coin that way, you know why. It's because the hitbox isn't there yet. But in order to bounce off stuff off of this game, you actually have to time the jump button. So if you don't time it, you just bounce off low like that. But if you press jump when you're on them, you'll suck, first of all. Laylee, get back here. But you'll bounce higher like that. So, and you need to do that for these. Well, I suck. Oh my! I can't believe I didn't get hit there, frankly. I want to get. That is my. You know what? Can we just not talk about any of the gameplay that did not happen? Because there was definitely no good to be had there. No good gameplay to be had. So quills that you collected after you get a checkpoint actually do remain collected, as you can see. Which means I don't need to go over here, actually. I feel like the quills in Overworld, I feel like quills in boxes respawn. So it's a little strange. It's a little inconsistent, as you can say. Anyways, we're gonna try to collect these damn red quills again. Okay, how does that sound? Oh my god, I missed it again. What is happening? Oh my god, and getting backwards is a pain in the ass. I'm stupid! No, I refuse. I just want these quills. You can't stop me from having these quills. Nice, I did it. I did it. It was not worth it at all. Yes. I'm a disappointment to my family. Anyways, I don't think there's anything over there. We're just gonna grab this bale really fast if you don't mind. Even though there's a checkpoint right here. Spiders, you actually can't kill by rolling into them. You can only kill them via various weaponry. So, in other words, like the berries or the bomb. Oh, lots of secrets hidden in walls. You can actually generally see the opening in the walls, though. So there's that. Yay! So happy. Anytime you see this like weird latch thing, that's where your buddy slammed through it. They generally, I think, want you to have this bomb so you can wreck this guy with it. But you can actually hit him if you just jump on top of him like that, which is a little hard, I guess, if you don't have Laylee. But I think that's what the bomb there is for, because you can just bomb the side of him and it would kill him. But instead, I'll hold the bomb on me forever and ever, because I tend to never use it unless I use it for actual, like, what is it? Box gathering needs or cage gathering needs. How do you get that? How grab this vine? Oh well. Oh my! Don't ask what I was thinking there. I definitely just tried jumping off like a crazy man. Don't do it, man. Your life is worth living. Yeah, so climbing ropes is totally fine, but climbing vines and shit like that? Nah, that ain't me. Doesn't look like there's anything up there. Oh, since we're not actually gonna use this bomb for anything, I should mention that, well, I don't know if I can show it up here, but when you toss these bombs at the mark on them, I was in fact not able to show it off there. But they'll actually, whoa. Oh my. Note to self, do not do that ever again. Just don't do it. But actually, if you toss those bombs and they don't blow up on something, it'll actually start walking around. As like a remote control thingamabob. I disagree with everything. Whatever, just get over here. You suck. You baited me to killing myself. You are just the rudest guy. Okay, well, I didn't actually need one after all, but thankfully there's one over here. Yay! Okay. The coins in this game, I neglected to mention this, but they're actually numbered, so you know when you're missing one. Because you'll be like, coin 4, and it'll show up in the right slot and everything anyways, to queue off as well. So, in general, I will be very upset when I miss coins, because I'm also upset at the spider, it turns out. Sometimes getting Laylee is so much danger, I just tend to avoid it sometimes. I'm not gonna purposely die, maybe, I don't know. I'll try not to purposely die if I miss, Laylee, but yeah, I'm sure it'll happen out of frustration and sadness. Spiders suck, dude. They're destroying me. I want to swing back. Okay. So you can use this, and we're gonna kill one, and I felt really good about it, frankly, because the spiders suck. I hope I didn't need that, by the way, because I just wasted it. Get the fuck out of the way, nerd! Look how many eyes it has, by the way. Uh-oh. So, the trail doesn't start moving till all the quills form. So there's that. Also, I'm gonna grab these quills, and then I'm gonna head back, because I think there's something over there. There is, but... Oh, actually, was there an enemy that I was supposed to bounce off of? Maybe I think that I killed an enemy that I was supposed to bounce off of. Well, that's bad, huh? Well, that's coin 5. There's me getting hit for the 7,000th time in this level. Maybe the quill, or not the quill, maybe the twit coin is... Is there a floor below me? There is not a floor below me. It was pain! I'm gonna hope the twit coin is just above that ledge right there. Because that would suck. Also, I didn't get those quills, damn it. From the green guy, because I didn't save yet. Yeah, so you can probably just bounce off this guy. I didn't think about that at the time. Alright, cool, it is over here. What the hell? Get out of here! Ow. Do not hire me as a pitcher for a baseball game. It do not work. No, at least you're happy about it. Oh, that's why I couldn't get back. It's because that's in the way. Do not break this, for it will look really stupid. Any attack will... Get out of the... Oh my god. You're ridiculous. And I hate you. The wild web woods. They'd be too wild for me. But yeah, you can actually break this with any attack. So a ground pound or your neutral swing will break it as well. Buzzercon. I swear, some levels give you way more quills than others, man. What the heck? The second level was fucking loaded with quills. Hey, we have 3 bees. I said this already, but there are 48 bees in the game. So there are a lot of bees. So I think that's it for this video. I have no idea how long we've been going for. Well, not less than an hour, strangely. So that'll be it. We'll continue this next time. Wow.